Hello everyone, Ogu Emmanuel is my name. If you are new in this channel, you are highly welcome, and a special thanks to all my returning subscribers and all my esteemed viewers as well. Do you know every guy has a Mumu button? Do you know that? The only issue is just to discover what triggers his Mumu button and watch him behave like a little child. Do you know why most men do a lot of insanely ridiculous things just to impress women? Do you know that? I hope you don't. Mumu button is a normal slang in Nigerian pidgin or street English language, which means a person's weak spot. And when normally pressed, in most cases, we make that person, grant requests against his or her wish if they can. So Mumu button is wireless. It doesn't always need a contact. Distance doesn't matter much. It can be pressed from any distance. Do you know that no matter how tough or powerful a man thinks he is, there is always a girl or a woman out there that has the capability to make him do otherwise? Do you know that? You will find out from this mind-blowing and eye-opening video titled How to Press Our Mumu Button. Please do watch this video till the end if you want to understand what our Mumu button is and how it can be pressed. After this intro. A Mumu button is a normal slang in Nigerian pidgin or street English language, which means a person's weak spot. When normally pressed, in most cases, will make the person grant request or request against his or her wish. There is no way in the history of humankind, you will find any great man that has not been at least once influenced by a woman. Even in the Bible, from the beginning to the end, you will always find stories of the greatest heroes of the Bible. You will see that very strong and powerful men, and they are already in the types of smart women. It was those smart women that are the people controlling them. So these powerful men are always controlled by those women. Some of these women were able to achieve this feat, because they were smart. They were smart enough. They were just smart enough to know the complete position. They know the complete position of the Mumu button of their men or those powerful men. You can call it remote controlling if you like. But it is the only password. It is the only password women use for ages to penetrate men's mental defensive mechanisms. So with this button, the life of any man born of a woman can be placed, arranged or manipulated by the woman at ease. You can now see in this video, you can now see the 10 different ways men's Mumu button can be pressed and can equally be located. The first one is you can't do without her. Some men are so much attached to their women, sometimes you might begin to think if they are still normal or not. You know, they choose to make themselves a big and dependable slave to the women they love, thereby giving out the spot where their Mumu button is located and how it can be easily pressed. Men like this have already sold themselves out to their women for free. So manipulating this type of man is as easy as anything you can think of. They are very easy because they are just in your tab or the woman's tab to control at will. So the second one is what I call using his favorite pet names. I believe there is something in the name when it comes naming names or using one. So there is something in the name that makes some people or some men go gaga anytime their woman calls them by that particular name. So to that kind of man, that name is already or has become his own Mumu button. So some smart women always know, they always know when to apply the name. They know the time when to apply the name. So because at the mention of that name, before the before before the man, every need in his body, soul and spirit immediately adheres to the sound of this woman's voice. So pet names like honey, sugar, sweetie, boo-boo, chuchi, even ikwikwi can turn them to a different kind of mortar. It can make them do something else. It can make them behave bizarre. So the third one is what I call, always threatens to leave. There are some men today who are peradventure or through luck, came to meet a particular kind of woman they never felt, possible in their life. Maybe due to low esteem, or maybe he got swept away by the woman's beauty, probably her position in the society or whatever. So there are some illiterate men who never believed a university graduate could accept them for marriage. So there is this possibility the man will always be dancing at the woman's whims and caprices because the man did not believe an illiterate man like him could have a graduate for a wifey. So the euphoria of these feelings will create a Mumu button for this woman against the man. It will always be, am I sure that I'm the one marrying this graduate? Imagine an illiterate like me. So the fourth one is his best foods or his best food. They say the easiest way to a man's heart is usually through his stomach. Man loves good food, especially those ones who doesn't play, those men who doesn't play with their stomach. There is a saying that whatever man is interested in, that is what you can easily use, to get him trapped. So finding the right Mumu Botton for this kind of man by his wife is not difficult. So the idea of making sure she gives him the kind of food he likes, by the wife, could easily make him do what he could have ordinarily wouldn't want to do. So the possibility of the wife manipulating him with the kind of food he desires is not far-fetched. It means this man's Mumu Botton is his wife's good food. The fifth one is give him peace. One of the easiest ways to press the Mumu Botton of almost every man is to give, just give them peace. Man loves peace. Even if they are committed outside, they will desire to come home. They will desire to come to a peaceful home. A home that they will not like to find any kind of stress or trouble. So a lot of men loves going home to a peaceful, to a peaceful embrace of their families. The moment he believes he could not be disturbed at home, the easier for his woman to manipulate or press his Mumu Botton, the easier for the man to fall in the right places for the woman to fire. It is easier for the woman to approach a stable and peaceful man than to do so with a stressed and unhappy one, because a stressed man is troubled and irritated. So the chances of the man paying attention to her desire and request will be likely, maybe difficult. It will be difficult, to connect such a man, a troubled man. So the sixth one is crocodile tears. Crocodile tears. So these manipulative women knew a lot. They knew a lot of men cannot stand seeing them cry. So the men do their best always to tackle the solution to the problem of this crying woman. Some men cannot stand watching a woman or a lady cry. They will want to do just anything to make her stop crying. I'm not saying that it's good to encourage women or people to be crying. That's not what I'm saying. So a story was once told of how a married man, once told his immediate younger brother to move out of his house in the middle of the night in Lagos. So what happened? What happened? Do you know what happened? Because the husband's junior brother came back from the market, tired and hungry. So he went to the refrigerator, collected a few slices of bread he found there, just to quench the hunger. So what happened was that the brother's wife, who knew how to press her husband Mumu Botton, and who has been targeting to get this boy out of their house by fair or foul means. So what she did was to, profusely, she started crying to her husband, with complaint that his junior brother disrespected her, that it's either, in fact, the two of them, that he must choose one. And the problem came up because the boy ate the bread the woman bought with her own money, without taking permission from her. When somebody is targeting you, the person will always find a reason to attack or do something. you know. So this woman started crying as if it is cry is going out of fashion. So in the process of shedding tears, the woman told her husband, whose Mumu button has already been pressed, that he should do something. If not, she's leaving him for good. So looking at the wife's tears, and the man asked the brother to leave his house in the middle of the night so that he can have peace. That was how the man discharged his junior brother from the house because of the woman's crocodile tears. So this woman used these tears to press the button she felt that was right for her, because she wanted to be in control of things, period. So the seventh one is what I call bed subsidy removal. I know some people will be wondering, which one is he calling bed subsidy removal again? Is there anything like subsidy? Or is there anything like subsidy removal from the bed or on the bed? But there are sometimes women deliberately place a wicked embargo on their bekus, let me put it that way, just to achieve their inordinate ambition. They will try to bring the man to the very position that will make it easier for a good buying. There are certain words that you cannot use on YouTube or Facebook. So you know what buying means, to give up the ghost. So there is sometimes, I just remember something now. There is this part of the Bible that says, that husband should fulfill his marital duty to his wife, and likewise the wife to her husband. That the wife's body does not belong to her alone, but also to her husband. In the same way, the husband's body does not belong to him alone, but also to the wife. Do not deprive each other except by mutual consent, and for a time, so that you may devote yourselves to prayer. Then come back together again, so that Satan will not tempt you because of your lack of self-control. I think that could be found in that will be found in 1 Corinthians chapter 7, 3-5. I think somewhere, if it is not this, maybe somewhere around there. So to consider what was written here, so many women like to abuse this biblical passage. Whenever they needed their man to do something special for them, those things that the man would not even try to do under normal circumstance, the man will not even be allowed to enter Jerusalem at night. She will not allow the man to touch her pekus or something like that. Not until under duress. They will want the man to make those evil promises. Most of the time, some of the things that he might find very difficult to do. But anyway, since the man is like a man under, surrounded with a killing material, the man will not have any other choice than to make such promises, to accept the condition, because he's going somewhere. So he's compelled to do their biddings, and in the process, he will allow his Mumu button to be pressed anyhow. So the eighth one, number 8, is what I call emotional blackmail. In this particular instance, a lot of things will happen in our societies there are sometimes crimes, committed by a partner in relationship, especially marriage. The crime may be a white collar job crime, or even buying crime committed by the man whose secret is only known by this woman. So being a smart person that she is, might at one time or the other may decide to be using that occasion as an advantage to compel the man to do the almost impossible task for her, because of the man's secret crime that she knew. So that has turned out to be the potential Mumu Botton for the woman. So, the woman knew where to find the man's Mumu Botton. So with this on her mind, the man can no longer say no to any of the woman's requests or intentions. So the woman will always use that as a remote control to be pulling the man from here and there, from here to there. Sometimes you can see some married man having awkward or doing something that you might not even understand. Sometimes you begin to wonder why the man is behaving the way they are behaving, without knowing that the man is under a serious attack or influence, that his peace of mind is at stake. You will not understand. So the ninth one is what I call going nude before men. If all the truths are meant to be told, I have a lot of reasons to believe you can hardly see any healthy man born of a woman, be able to stand the look of any beautiful young lady without reaction from the man's body. Most especially on that area between the man's laps and his packed or dangling pendulum. The place I mean between his laps. So even a madman loitering around in the local market does not spare any moment or any opportunity to go back, to go watch again and again any woman or lady who carelessly forgot to sit like a woman in the open market or open places. So in a lot of cases, sometimes these preachers on the pulpit also can even tell you what they normally see in every Sunday service or in most of their church services. So what some of these costs is, who normally sit directly facing the pastor. Some of these ladies who come to the church service sitting with their thighs ajar, with their thighs open, facing the pastor. Before you know what is happening from the altar, the spirit of dog, fornication, and sin will then take over from the spirit of God. Before you know again what is going on, the man of God will begin to tell you how Jonah swallowed the fish instead of the other way around. Instead of the other way around. So, nude appearance is enough to bring down the world's most strongest man. Such an appearance can kill the career of any ordained man of God, any person. At least for those men who cannot flee from any appearances of the devil. It means the nude lady before him is the man's own Mumu Botton. So many women knows how to press those dangerous buttons to achieve their inordinate aims and ambitions. So An American philosopher once said that he can defeat anything, he can win anything except temptation. So the philosopher knows what he was saying. So the 10th and the final one is love. Love is something that can take a man, it's something that can make a man lose his guards because he has these reasons to believe that he has for this particular, that he has something for this particular woman, something special, something much bigger than ordinary affection. So some people can love with their heads intact, while some cannot, because they believe, they believe they know what they are doing, but the one doing them is not what they know. They don't know what the one taking place in their lives, So love can actually make men do silly things. It is easy to know who is in love. That is a man that has been carried away by the feelings he has for his woman. A smart woman who is up to something normally uses this opportunity to enter the man. It's an opportunity for her to press home her demands from the man. Because the woman has learned to press the man's Mumu button. She knows where it is located, So some women can even go as far as placing stone on top of the man's Mumu button. That means there is no solution, there is no mequatarism, if you ask me. So because of her knowledge, the man has been swept off. She knew that the man has been swept off or under the influence of the woman's knowledge of pressing the button. The man is in love. So a man under this kind of condition, watching a nude woman, can equally sign his own death warrant just to make this woman happy. Just to touch the pegus, just to do something silly. So finally, the greatest among men is a big fool for one woman he loves. So stubborn and hard men are the easiest kind of men to control. See all these men doing gra-gra, don't leave me, let me do this and that. They are very easy to be manipulated by women. You can ask them. They know. So the only job there is to try to find out where his Mumu button is located. They are very easy. But you see all these quiet ones that doesn't talk anyhow, they are the most dangerous men to enter. Because you will not know what is on their mind. You will not know their next plan. So just take it easy with them. Look for their Mumu password. Look for their Mumu button. You will then have the 4 aces. So the one last thing, many men will not admit this. So the one last thing is, they are Mumu before their loved woman. A lot of men will not admit this. Because men always think that they are in control, that they run things. That things doesn't run them. So please go to our comment section. Let us know what you think about this video. And do not forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Click like on my Facebook page. Ring the notification bell. And do not forget to share this video. It will help the next viewing experience to this channel. It will also help the algorithm. I will say bye-bye. We shall meet in my next coming video very soon. Bye.